I can't have one. Okay, we're good to go.
My name is Sherry Linder. I'm the budget chair, and before you council for adoption is the budget for the 2022 to 2023 supplemental and the 2023 to 2024 budget.
So we accept that?
Yeah, so you guys need to, there's resolutions here that adopt these budgets that are in your packet after the budget message. So we're gonna go in here and we'll do the budget first. The next year's budget, so we'll start with this one. I don't have any numbers, but I can read the resolutions to you if you'd like.
Adopting the budget,
Yes,
is that the first one you're gonna start with?
we can start with that one.
It is 420-23.
Okay, so I'm going to read just the summary of that resolution. So be it resolved, the council of the city of Sumter hereby adopt the budget for fiscal year 2023 to 2024 in the amount of $5,494,257. That budget is now on file at the business office located at 240 Mill Street, Sumter, Oregon. The appropriation categories are as listed on the resolution.
So do I get a motion to accept it?
I make a motion to accept resolution number 420-23, adopting the budget. I'll second the motion to adopt the budget for 23-24.
Aye.
I'm fine.
All opposed? Passes unanimously. So now we can close this session.
Oh, no.
Well, you have to do the other one, right?
Yeah, well, I guess to close this session, let's open the other one. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll do it right this time.
No, that's fine.
So go ahead.
This is a supplemental budget. Open the meeting.
I open this budget committee budget meeting, introducing before you council, the adoption is the budget for the 2022 to 2023 supplemental budget that was approved by the budget committee.
And so that resolution, Marcia, I don't know the number on that resolution.
Thanks, Mayor. That's the next one in line would be the resolution approving participation in state revenue. No, next one. You're funny talking.
That single piece of paper that I got you.
That one. It is resolution 423-23.
Thank you. Be it resolved, the City Council of the City of Sumter hereby adopts the supplemental budget for fiscal year 2022-2023 in the amount of $4,039,430. The budget is now on file at the City Business Office. Be it resolved, the amounts below are hereby appropriated, and that is the appropriations that you have in front of you.
We'll make a motion to accept resolution number 423-23, adopting the supplemental budget for the city.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion for the adopting of the supplemental budget for the 22-23 year.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes.
Okay. And now you close this
So
meeting.
now we can close the budget meeting, and now we're going to open our regular council meeting, and it is June 13th at 4, it looks like about 4:08. So let's do stand for the first meeting.
Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Charlie, we do have two more resolutions we have adopted in the regular session. We'll need to see whenever you want to do that. I'm fine.
So we can do this After our report?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. So, Mr. Kirk Clark, you got a report? You just walked through the door, I mean.
So we got our VFA grant, $10,000. I think all the paperwork's turned in, so you know exactly what we would like to get. Should be all lined item and it's under 10,000. So hopefully we can put it together, the funds.
Okay.
If not, like I've mentioned in the past, a private citizen would fund that 10,000 and then we pay him back at that time. That's other than that, we're just responding to our calls, and the only thing that might change on the grant is there's about $100,000 worth of fire shelters being purchased throughout the 13 districts, and they think that we should combine and maybe get them, because they're quite expensive. They're 500 a piece or so. Might be able to get them for 300 if you're spending $100,000. And with that, we're gonna then have 20 of them kicking around that will probably go obsolete next year. That's my report. Because I can't, we have lots of shelters already that we've had to take out of service because we practice with them at that point, so. That's all I got.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Kurt.
So now we need, I kind of jumped ahead, so we need to approve the minute from May 23rd. Do you have any problems with the minute?
Nope, there's one correction under reports. Second line item that has A Rob Gosling and it should be a B. Matt already knows, he'll make the correction.
Oh. Wonderful. So do I have,
I make a motion to accept council minutes from May 23rd, 23 with the correction that was noted.
second?
I'll second that motion to accept the minutes.
All ayes?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. Going to new business. We'll do we have some resolutions here that we have to do for the budget. Correct?
Okay, yeah.
Mr. Rob?
So Marcia, the first one on that packet, the resolution to impose.
Is, resolution number 422-23.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read that. A resolution to impose and categorize taxes for fiscal year 2023-2024. Be it resolved that the city council of the city of Southfield, Oregon hereby imposes the taxes provided for in the adopted budget at a rate of 0.7987 per thousand assessed value for operations. And these taxes are hereby imposed and categorized for the tax year 2023-2024 upon the assessed value of all taxable property within the city. There's also, so that is the general government limitation, and then excluded from the general government limitation is the general obligation bond debt payment of $44,800. Be it finally resolved, the budget officer filed this resolution with the Baker County Clerk and the County Assessor on or before July 15th, 2023.
I make a motion to accept resolution 422-23, resolution to impose and categorize taxes for fiscal year 23-24.
We get a second?
I second the motion to accept the resolution of the imposed and categorized taxes for the 23-24 calendar year or fiscal year.
All ayes?
Aye.
Any opposed? One. Still passes unanimously.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have the numbers.
A resolution, you did that one, resolution of the city of Center.
This is a resolution of city center, yes.
It'd be resolution number 421-23.
Okay. A resolution of the city of Sumter, Baker County, Oregon, approving participation in the state revenue sharing program. Whereas state revenue sharing law ORS 221.770 requires cities to pass an ordinance or resolution each year stating the election to receive state revenue sharing money. And whereas the required hearings were held on May 2nd and June 13th, 2023, be it resolved, the city of Sumter elects to receive state revenues for fiscal year 2023-2024, passed and adopted by the city council. City of Sumter.
I have a motion to pass this resolution.
I make a motion to pass resolution 421-23, approving participation in the state revenue sharing program.
Have a second.
I'll second the motion to pass the resolution to the city of Sumter for the approved participation of the state revenue program for the fiscal year of 23-24.
Ayes.
Aye.
Right.
Passes. Is that the end of them, Rob? Wonderful. Resolutions have all been documented and passed. So now what we need to do is I assume we should be paying on city bills now, now that we have a budget.
The budget's for next year. Supplemental budget. Okay, so this is, we'll start with the, I guess we'll start with the appropriations. That's this one. These will be changed by the supplemental budget that you just passed. Those changes are not reflected on this. So prior to the passing of that, we had over expenditures in water fund materials and services. The change will definitely take care of that. Then we had over expenditures in personnel services, material services, and the sewer fund. I believe the change will also fix those. So should be good on those. Okay. Everything else looks reasonably in order, except as we know, the flea market will be overextended because we had two, in this next check run coming up, we had 2 dust abatements in this current year, which we did not budget for and have no capacity to budget for. So just heads up on that one. Any questions on appropriations? Okay, moving on to the next one. Current bank balance is 56,363. Our prior month collections were 33,822. Then our expenses are listed below. The big ones are Baker Sanitary for septic tank pumps, or rather pumps of septic tanks. And then we also paid 3,162 for porta potties for the market, for the flea market, and 1,100 for the dumpster for the flea market. Ed's job dust abatement for $10,000. And that's really everything over about 2,000. Yeah. And then on the back, you have your LGIP balance as well as your cash balance. So our general fund has 56,000 in it that was mentioned at the beginning. And then LGIP has another 250,000 in it. So the Kansas City's total cash balance is $306,000 as of today.
Does anybody have any questions for Rob?
No.
I'll get a motion to pass the bill to approve them.
I make a motion to accept the bills presented for payment.
Give a second.
Second.
Ayes.
Aye.
That was unanimous. The bill shall be paid.
We have refund request.
And it looks like we're going to do Van Christensen water. He sent us asking for us to waive or refund. Waive. Huh? Waive. Waive. Water bill for February, March, and April. Is that correct?
So February was waived, so March and April.
From March and April. He sent us a letter in which we do not read council. I'm aware, from what I'm aware of, as of February, actually, he had water at his meter. He was still closed up at the house. However, we went ahead and granted him the February bill. March and April, he has had water at the meter. His line going from the meter to his house is broke up. From what I understand, he didn't want to pay like $1,500 or $2,000 for somebody to come out of Ontario to come and thaw him out. So therefore he stayed froze up. That's not a city issue on that behalf. I feel,
Per our ordinance.
because it's like we're only responsible to the meter. He was only, and he actually paid, it says right here, he paid for February, March, and April of the $89 to his cabin that he's got. So if he had water there, he had water accessible to his place. He just refused, he decided not to have the lines thaw out. So that's not a city problem, so it's up to the council here to figure out whether or not we want to pass this or.
We waived February, correct? The one-time bill. So he's saying he doesn't want to pay for February, March, and April, but we have already done February, but because he did have water to his meter, meter to his house is his responsibility. We just chose not to.
Well, we had water to the other cabins as well as the property as well.
Yes. So my opinion is he pays March and April. He had water to his meter.
Yeah, because that line, was froze up under the driveway going to his cabin in which we thawed out. So as soon as we did that, he had water at that point in time.
And that was done in February,
And
right?
that was done in February, so we were gracefully giving him February off. Because he had water within, I think he had water within 3 or 4 days. After pulling it all out and fighting everything. So do I get a?
You need a
want to do a motion to approve or disapprove?
I make a motion, to deny the 2 months of, March and April, that Van has to pay his water bill.
Okay, second.
I'll second the motion based on the fact that he had water to his meter for those 2 months, so therefore he should have to pay the bill.
Hi.
But I just wanted to be clear on this. He not only had water to his meter, but also to the rental cabins on the property.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was just his house. No.
Yeah, because what it does is the way that we have the hot wire through, which it still is done that way, it came through where his meter's at the house, went through the pipe, that went to our 4-inch line, goes over to his cabin, and he's got meter there as well. So the line was charged. He had water. Free market refund. I think it was expected. So it looks like we have a $5.50 shower not working for Rodriguez. And then we have another one for Tim Parker. Did not receive table for $10. And then we have another one for service centers for $35, electric did not work. And warts for $15 overpaid for application fee.
Make a motion to, refund the listed.
Do I get a second?
I'll second that, to refund the free market move.
Can we add these up? Before I get the eyes, I have time, I want to make sure that this is in the minute for the total amount for these 4 people.
I get 65, 60, or 65, 50. And, yeah, 65, 50.
Okay, so it's gonna be a total of 65, 50 for each people's refund. All in favor of aye? Yeah. Zoning application. We have application for grant, 552. Oh, I'm sorry, 252. Any problem?
Is there two separate addresses there, or two separate lots, is it 2 lots? Okay. Because then the address would change on the.
That's not mine. No, that's
No.
not true.
No.
This one is actually, Heidi Epworth.
You know which one currently the house is on?
The other lot, on the other side.
Which one? 1502.
Well, our map shows that it's 2 separate lots, but
It
the
is
house
one
is
lot.
on, I haven't checked county records. House is on one section and the shed on the right. But
Yeah,
this particular map doesn't show, it shows that it's 2 separate. But actually it's under tax law 1500, so I'm corrected, it's not.
That's 1502, right?
Yes, 1502. So
And
no,
then the thing that separates this out is they thought it was on a solid one. So
no, it's, I make a motion to accept the effort application for the shed.
I have a second.
I'll second the motion to accept the application.
All in favor?
Alright.
Was approved. Then we're gonna do. 640 Park Street.
There's a lot of sheds on here, I've never seen from the council before. It's probably done in the past, what's the size 5 feet is?
Yes.
5, okay, she's 14, and 15 off of the pin. And this will go to Dawn.
Yes.
So pole barns, so I'm assuming there's no size. Just a little.
I forget what it says on the front.
It says pole barns, so I'm assuming it's.
Four barn, 24 by 30. Height is only 20 feet. So do I get a motion to approve this one?
I make a motion to approve the request to build a 24 by 30 pole barn by the Martin.
Second,
Second,
aye. Aye.
aye, sorry.
Pass. Then we're gonna do Granite Hill, 705.
Granite Hill Road, is that also the,
Excuse me?
that doesn't look, is that,
It goes by both. If you look on, depending on which map you look at, Sumter Valley, at some point it changes to Granite Hill.
need to make that slash and then something else. They have a well. don't
They have a well.
And this is supposedly for 6 hookups, we do not have water and sewer up
There's
there.
no water, no food.
The map shows that when I looked at, I know Google Maps not correct 100% of the time, but it showed a pond up there, so I'm just not sure if there's no pond up there. I've never been up and looked. so.
Maybe back in the day. There ain't one there now. So I'll get a motion to pass this one.
And I'm assuming they're going to the appropriate people for
They are,
paperwork.
and they're looking for that other document, I forget what it's called,
SE something,
LUD,
Yeah.
letter something.
yeah, they have to have that. Yeah, I make a motion to accept, I cannot pronounce the last name, but it's for Earl Risk. It's 705 Granite, for them to drop a, septic tank in. Right, so,
And you're gonna make that motion with what you wanna have done?
yeah, they have to go through the DEQ permit process, yes, on all the land use process. that we don't-
Put that in the motion? Yes,
Yes,
okay. Second?
I'll second the, proposal for the septic tank with, 705 Granite Hill.
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
And there's one more that's not on yet.
Only one. Oh, this one. This one here is for Ron Forweiler. You want to do a full frame garage. It's gonna be 24 by 24 by 14 foot. So it's 24 in width, 24 in length, and 14 foot high.
it's. Is that, that's.
Hmm?
5 feet off, I just checked and see, is this a corner lot or something?
No, corner line.
Inside lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna think, no.
So that's the only structure on that property then?
It's going permanent structure. Do I have a motion on this one?
No house? Anyone? No?
Not on that lot.
No.
I make a motion to accept the permit for Ron Forweiler for a post-trend garage 24 by 24 by 14.
Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Aye.
So that's gotta go to county also?
Yeah.
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 Put it on.
So we don't have any old business. So Councilor Collins.
I have a few.
Carol's the first one in line.
You have one, Cheryl?
Oh, just apologies for not being in the last meeting. Due to the overexcitement at the RV park and flea market and weekend, we forgot about it.
We don't prefer. I have two things.
I just told Sherry, I said the reason why he didn't show up, it's not surprising because we were here for a budget thing.
No, I just got too busy with other things and totally forgot.
Okay, go ahead, Marcia.
First thing first, I guess, is this is gonna be Carol Christie's last meeting coming to Sumter. She is moving on to a different life. And so we want to thank her for coming to council meetings when she's here in the summertime and wish you the best. Now to my money thing. So for people who haven't been here and gone through this spiel, I know Daryl wasn't here before. We have resolution 396-21 that we did a while back, and it has been amended once. I had Tim and Jeff check on what our current sewer and water supplies that we're gonna need for meters and pipes and such, and they have gone up 15%. So we brought us up to schedule when we did this, about a year and a half ago. Now with our budget being over and finding that some of the stuff is gonna be 20% more fuel, of course, monitors all that, dictates what it is, and then of course our COLA. I don't want to see us go in the hole, so you'll see that we have, I have some starred things. So I would like city labor to go up from $50 an hour, and you have two choices. I gave you the 7% or the 15%, but if everything's going up 15%, we're still in the hole. To go up to $60. The backhoe with operator was 180. I'd like it to go to 210 under the 15%. The grader with operator, because of course, you know, that's, if they break, you have more expenses. It was 225. I wanted to go to 260. That's the 15%. We're kind of rounded them out. Some of them are like $1 under, $1 over. So I just rounded them up. So the water deposit would stay the same. I don't know why I had that one. With the dump truck operator with 175, and it is at 150 now. Water deposit, leave it alone. The water connection fee. Currently, the 4,000 for the 1 inch, I'd like to go to 4,600. The 5,000 for the 2 inch, for the 15% go up to 5,750. The sewer connection is at 3,500 and it needs to be jumped up to $4,025. I'd like a discussion on it if anybody has different figures they'd like, but I would also like to, I will make a motion to pass this and amend this resolution at this meeting. We can't go
So
in the
now,
hole.
you just raised everything up to 15%, though?
Yes, yeah, the water and the sewer's up 15%, you know, $1 or $2 on the other, I just rounded them out, but.
So the question that I have, which I haven't talked to Tim about.
That's fine.
If this one here, is it going to go up in July?
No, no,
So this is good for the,
this is good until, you know, prices keep going up and
okay.
And at some point, I don't want the citizens that currently live here to have to bear this cost of this extra expense on all of this prices going up. So, and we do not have STR, system development charges. So I think it's only fair that someone coming into the city help offset what we're currently going to put ourselves in a position of more people. We have higher DEQ standards. We have more water testing. Everything has to be updated. And at some point, this, you know, if we have a little surplus, we can start putting money aside for the backhoe, for a new backhoe, which is not in good shape that does work.
Yeah, and also this here, I'll point out that on this avenue means that right now, the way everything is today, is that we get to take the monies that were the 15% over, and we're pulling that out of our water fund that we all pay to make up for this difference as of now, to where doing what Marcia's talking about will, it sustains and holds its own. Somebody wants to put in a new water connection or whatever, that's wonderful, but you're going to get to pay the fee.
And how are you gonna control those fees going into what fund exactly did you already?
Oh, it goes into the water sewer fund,
It goes to water sewer fund.
is where it goes.
How do you track it? That 15% increase in that water fund
That's just our new fee charges
That's
for
what,
all of it? Okay.
for the water and sewer. And when they pay for water, it goes into it is marked as a water income. And
So when
sewer
does this go into effect? I'm getting ready to ask for a hookup
today,
today.
if
I
I
want,
make a motion.
can I
No,
pay for my hookup today?
no. We're
So you're gonna
in
get me
the
again.
officer club.
Why not? let
well,
them
well,
pay
now,
it?
the thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah, 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 why not? let them?
the thing is though, is what he's doing, we're not doing with the city. He's doing it through a private contractor. So
So the contractors.
most of all of these fees, he's gonna miss.
I am.
You are.
He's gonna add it to my fee, the payment that I'm gonna pay him. If he's gonna pay it, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna pay it. The contractor's not gonna do it out of free grants. I'm gonna pay it. He's gonna add it to my bill. I tried
Yeah.
a month ago to pay this hookup fees and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, this is the one that.
Why couldn't you have paid a month ago?
Well, I asked, and I don't get a hookup until probably next month, maybe the month after next.
Well, you can, that is the reason for bringing this up and passing this resolution now. If we wait till the next meeting, there's 6 people out there that are thinking about it, they bought the land, but they don't know how to develop it. They're all gonna run in. So all of a sudden, we've lost.
So
We've lost.
I would ask the city council to not put this until day after tomorrow, so I can pay the fees.
The thing is, so, and I'm gonna go up to bat for him, because when he came in, we did not know as a city where he was gonna get water or where he was gonna get sewer.
Right.
That's when he was here. I can't tell him what it's gonna cost him when we don't know where we're pulling it from and who's gonna put it in. He already knew that he had to pay for all the main line and everything.
And I'm
I'm
paying
gonna
for
say
it.
this would be one exception right here. And I do believe that that's the way that one should play out.
Good deal, but
Because he has come to council, he has come into the city, he has done
He's in.
his due diligence of doing this. And without knowing when it comes to a council meeting,
Yeah,
and I could be out of line, but I don't think this time I am.
I don't think so, because he's in process.
we're in process yet.
So I would say that some people
We're in
just
process.
keep the old rates.
I don't have a problem with
Okay.
When you want me to pay it? Tomorrow? Today?
it's in the minutes. We're fine.
We're good.
Jennifer,
Matt says that there are a few others in process.
they have not come to.
They haven't come to
We have not
council,
seen paper.
Yeah, he's already-
I just know there's people, that. have
Because like I
bought
said,
property and-
for some people, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because we all know,
Oh, I think that's a good,
you know.
He's been working on it for 2
Right.
months.
we're not that big.
Yeah, he's
So,
been working
yeah.
on it for 2 months. So I don't know, if you guys have any questions about it related to, but off the get-go, we're gonna lose 15% for every sewer and water hookup we do
So,
from now on.
basically, we're looking at $8,600 for water sewer connection.
Which isn't, without a systems development charge.
Yeah, it's about
Fair.
25% of what Josh said.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of cities now, and I hate to say this, but some system development fees run as high as $50,000-$60,000.
Oh, yeah, we pay them.
And that's, unfortunately, that's part of the reason why we don't have affordable housing. Is because system development fees are getting outrageous.
Well, during, a lot of the people haven't been in the budget process, but a lot of stuff went up on the budget too. Was it 20% on quite a few things?
Well, I think we do need to raise, the rate, to get it away from our people.
I have one other question. I remember when it was raised. How long ago was that?
It was probably a year and a half, year and
2 years,
3/4,
yeah,
yeah,
that's what I
real
was thinking.
close to it, yeah, that we went ahead and did that, and we were way down then. So we were
Right.
losing money for years to begin with,
Correct.
and so,
Rob, is that seem high to you, 15% rate immediately?
Well, if you raised it 2 years ago, you've got 7% inflation over the last 2 years.
Okay.
That's
All right.
14%,
Okay.
so.
Here.
there you go.
well, and I had Jeff and Tim call to get an estimate on the cost of all of the fittings and pipes that we need, and he said 15% across the board. So that's why I went with the 15%, and we're not pushing it by no means.
Yeah, to be honest, I think you guys are probably, just throwing that out there, I think that's probably very generous, to be completely honest. I think you're trying to balance the reimbursement for the city, so you're not putting an undue burden on those who are already paying, regular water and sewer, but also trying not to overcharge. Because a lot of cities don't necessarily tie it directly to some tangible cost like you guys have. Instead, they say, well, we think this might be what it will cost to build this next step, the system development charge, for example, because there's a hybrid where you actually essentially build in a system development charge into that hookup fee. Because you overprice that, so it's not based on this cost reimbursement. I think you guys are trying to be fair. Costs gone up. That's how it is.
Well, $8,600 compared to everywhere else is pretty reasonable.
So can we put that into a motion to amend that resolution?
I do make a motion to amend resolution 396-21 as of today at this meeting, minus Mr. Summerfield's hookups. As stated on this piece of paper, I guess I will read them. City labor to go up to $60, backhoe with operator to go up to $210, grader with operator to go up to $260, dump truck with operator $175, water connection 1 inch, 4,600, 2 inch. To go up to $5,750. And for the sewer connection to go up to $4,025.
Don't get a second.
I'll second the motion to increase the fee schedule to the 15% increase.
Aye.
Aye.
I do want to point out too, what we're considering the system development for water and sewer connection and stuff. It must be pointed out too, there's nothing in here. A lot of cities have a fee for parks and stuff that goes into system development fees. There's a fee in there for the fire department. There's a fee in there for all kinds of stuff. So this, what we're doing here is pretty generous, actually, as far as that goes. Even though it is a lot of money, but times are changing, I guess, but we're not adding, all those other fees to a system development charge, which who knows, maybe down the road sometime, but I don't see, we can keep the cost as low as we can for our citizens.
Well, like Marcia stated, it's part PVCs, petroleum products, anything like that is going up at least minimum of 15%. So to keep it at only 15%, I think is very fair.
Well, I don't think these hourly rates here, when I Kurt's a private contractor, he can probably,
Those are good hourly. I wish I was getting those. Yeah. But it is what it is. If that's what it takes to cover the labor and machine, I mean, that's what it takes.
Got anything to add to comment? of your own?
No, no comment.
Then I guess I guess consider be the last one to speak on council comment. We went ahead and on the outside of doing our lawsuit dust abatement, I went ahead and made a decision that we should have went ahead because it was so dusty because of the where the RQ is parked, the park, and the public restroom for the meeting or for the flea market. I went ahead and had Ed stop at that road to it, which would be Mill Street, because it was, I mean, it was just a dust bowl, and it's part of the city ordeal, and I felt that we should went ahead and do it. You know, naturally, we put it down and then we get 5 inches of rain. We'll see what happens with Ed stops on that. I just want people out there to know that we went ahead and did this. Cause like I said, people hit that road, they don't stop at that stop sign, they cruise right through it at 35, 40 miles an hour, and it's a dust bowl. And we had public coming up there, kids and everything else. So I felt that it was necessary, and it didn't cost us a whole lot of money to do.
Where was this? Was that?
Mill Creek, right here at the end.
Where the city bathrooms
Where the
are.
city
Oh, okay.
bathroom, city park, and the RQ's up there. And that's like, and I'm surprised that when Kurt opens that door, you can see out the windows of the RQ, that's good to get.
Yeah. So
So I just wanted to bring that forward. Anything else?
Yeah, do we have, revenues from the flea market yet?
No. I don't think so. That would be a number in. Public comment?
good job, counselors. Pay attention to Baker City's council meeting tonight because it's a deal with the fire department there. Don't let it happen here.
Anybody else? I get a motion to adjourn,
I make a motion to adjourn.
second,
A second motion to adjourn.
aye,
Aye.
it is
79. 48. And you're gonna need about, that was for foundation, you're gonna have about 4 or 5 hours. Take out the back.